Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get it. Let's go. Word. Oh, he was like, nephew, why you sending them little spoons over here? Like, he went from being super lit off the hottest chicken to he's a little aggressive. So I'm like, what? He like, man, them jumps weren't right, nephew. I said, what you mean they weren't right, man? He said, they weren't right. He said, the hottest chicken was right. He said, but them spoons look like somebody did the Gregory Hines on them. I was like, what's up with everybody in these tap dancing dudes? I'm like, yo, listen, I don't know nothing about that, man. I gave you wanted Yard Man to give you stuff, right? And I ain't mean to throw Yard Man under the, you know what I mean? But it won't me. It won't me. And Yard Man knows this is what happens when you the middleman. Like, I didn't do it. The middleman got to be the one that did whatever's going on. It falls on the middleman, man. This stuff can get dangerous too, y'all. But I didn't say nothing crazy. But all I said was, you wanted Yard Man to bring your stuff, right? He was like, he walked down and he started walking down towards that way. His pants was falling off his butt. He was like, hey, Yard Man! Come here! Man, come on down here, man! I look, Yard Man talking to the CEO with his back to the wall. He about to chow. He looking like, yeah, my conversation's more important than me just pinching these dude packages, doing the Gregory Hines with these dude packages. Dude, like, man, come on, man! He finally made his way over there. He walked over there. I'm on the fence. I'm like, when he walked, he look at me like, he give me the look like, I read his brain. He like, Weezy, I know you ain't throwing me under the bus, man. Come on, Weezy. Like, man, he walked, he like, what's up? He was like, I was like, yo, man, dude saying them spoons weren't right. Or the law. He was like, how they weren't right? He turned around. That y'all look like a good question too, because he looking at me on his fence. And I just told him what I was saying. Hey man, dude said them joints ain't right. He looked at me, he was like, he looked at dude, how they weren't right? Dude was like, man, they weren't right. They weren't right, man. Come on, man. He was like, man, come on, man. How big your spoons is, Weezy? You got big spoons, right? I'm like, man, I got regular spoons, man. I don't have no big spoons. I was like, yo, I didn't want to yell. I didn't want to yell, but I didn't want to kind of like, I want to save Yard Man, even though he's a scumbag, man. I don't know why I attract the scumbags sometimes, y'all. I'm sorry, man. But like, I'm like, yo, listen. I say, man, look, I don't get my junk. I get a little quiet with him to let them know I'm serious because we through the fence. And it's like, people can hear if they really, I was like, yo, look, man, I don't get my stuff through no CO. I don't get my la through a CO, man. I was like, man, I get my stuff from the rough through that VI. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't got the big junks that y'all used to, y'all old heads. We used to eat out the orange sports. Like when we go to the chow hall or when we eat food in the pod, like everybody got an orange sport because that's what they got in the chow hall. And that's like the regular orange sports, like this long, pause. So like, that's what everybody be using. So when it came to spoons and the weight of stuff, that's what used to be the normal weight, how you weigh stuff. Dudes be like, yo, you get this amount of spoons for this amount of money you spend, it has to be an orange spoon, which would be a big, decent lot of stuff in there. You know what I mean? But that started cheating prison because this stuff is hard to get in. I was glad when prices change or size changes and quality and quantity changing because trying to get somebody a real spoon wasn't right. I never measured a spoon, like from a spoon. I'm letting y'all know that. I never done that because I was feeling like that was just wasting the bud, man. What I would do, I would break down everything to the 9th power. I would break it down till there's no more bud left, man. That was with the regular law. You couldn't do that with the loud pack, but with the regular law, I'm breaking that down till there's no more buds to be found. And then I'm going to bag up using a playing card. I might have a Joker card in my hand and I'm scraping that joke like it's outer pay and I'm making spoons. And I'm making spoons, y'all, like that. I'm measuring it like, yo, giving dudes 5 feezies, man. So I might do 1 feezy, 2 feezy, 3 feezy, 4 feezy, 5 feezy. Not no big exclusive feezy, but that's how I was weighing the jump. So I tell old head, I say, oh, look, my jumps come in from the rough. I don't got no police bringing it in. So, and I'm not giving up no orange spoons either. He was like, well, come on, nephew. He said, man, his foot got all pointy, like, but he lit, his foot got all pointy. He was like, come on, nephew. I don't spend 3. I said, nah, he spent. He said, what he spend is what I spend. So the white dude was like, yo, come on, look. All we saying is this. Weezy, maybe they was a little small. Maybe you can fix them if you want to keep good customers. Because what I do, I spend that money. Weezy. So look, all I'm saying is just give me another spoon and call it even. You still got a good customer. So I'm like, on the strength that I got to save Yard Man, and for real, I'm the one that ended up paying an extra spoon all because of Yard Man. But I'm like, you know what? Like, Yard Man never asked me to pay him for these things that he did. You know why? Because Yard Man was pitching the package, y'all. So boom, he was tap dancing like he told me a couple days ago. So y'all know how I looked at that? I looked at that, man, like, man, I'm paying taxes. You know what I mean? I'm paying taxes. But I was like, for real, this can't happen again because, like, regardless of how I made my spoons, like, even with me not weighing it as an orange spoon, every spoon I would sell, I never had a complaint. Because you know why? I'm hitting people off with something decent. You know what I mean? Like, they getting something that's not little. You know what I mean? Like, it's a nice spoon game. So I never had complaints. But I'm like, you know what? Since I didn't pay Yard Man for doing all this stuff anyway, I did just make, you know what I mean, $250, which the money was good. Everything turned out to be great. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's just a little taxes that I gotta pay, man. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right. I said, yo, I'm gonna give it to Yard Man when we go to Dunham. I said, I'm gonna give him that junk when we go to Dunham, man. Everything straight after that. He was like, yeah. I said, man, you might have caught some bad junks. I said, all right, I got you though, man. The big dude, Fred, he was like, that was honorable. That was honorable right there, soldier. That was honorable right there. I'm like, psst. The whole time I was looking at Yard Man, like, I can't wait to holler at you. So I went on the dip back down to the other side of the yard. You know what I mean? So now I'm down there about 4 building on the big yard, but I'm way down there. I can't get that joint off my mind. So I tell the dude on the basketball court, cause Yard Man went back over by the chow hall and started talking to the CO again. I said, yo, tell Yard Man come around here this way. You know what I mean? So I look up, I see him doing that dumb walk. He like, he pick up a piece of paper. Somebody left a juice carton out there. He grabbed a juice carton. He put out his back pocket. He like, shh. He kept a little small wastebasket trash bag in his pocket, not the big J, the little wastebasket J. He like, shh. He put it back in his pocket. It was like that junk never left after they put it in his pocket. He had that junk. He got trash in his back pocket and everything. He walked. He like, what's up? I'm like, what you mean, what's up, man? I said, now I gotta come out a spoon. He was like, Weezy. He was already hip to what I was thinking. When I broke down to y'all just now, I promise y'all, man, this man was already thinking. He said, come on, Weezy. You ain't even pay me nothing. He did a leave. Like, you ain't even pay me nothing. You ain't pay me nothing for doing that. What do you mean? I said, bro, why I had to pay you, bro? You chopped off a couple of 50. He said, that's on my end. That's what I do on my end. He said, that's gonna happen regardless. He got serious. He said, that's gonna happen regardless. When I do that, that's gonna happen regardless. Now, you didn't give me nothing, and I respect it. But when stuff like this happen, you gotta help me and take up for me. Because if I leave or someone attack me, then who gonna move the stuff around? I'm like, man, I get that. I don't mind, you know what I mean? But I'm like, still though, man, how much you take out them jokes, man? He was like, man, shh, I made them all over again. I said, what you mean? He said, I made 5 jumps all over again. I said, what? I said, so what you walk out with? He was like, a spoon and a half. I said, man, you all greedy. I said, you greedy, oh y'all, man. I said, why you so greedy, man? Why you pinch a spoon and a half out of 5? He was like, I said, man, you supposed to take a feezy out of each one and get you 5 feezies, bro. He was like, nah, I know how to handle them. Trust me. I've been handling them for a while now. I said, well, look, though, I get that, and I'm going to pay this spoon. I said, look, but this is what we're going to do next time as a transaction. He was like, what? I said, we're going to do this. I said, you're going to tell me off top what you charging me. You know what I mean? And I'm going to pay you for making the move. You know what I mean? I said, if you bring me to play, you do whatever you want. That's on you. I said, but if they come asking me about it, I'm going to let them know it's on you. I'm letting you know that now. I said, because this is all good until you get caught. I said, when you get caught, then that's when I got to get involved. And y'all feel me? Like, I didn't want to go through this. You know what I mean? But I'm dealing with a dude. This is how, I'm sorry to give y'all a situation like this, but this is how penitentiary is. Like, it's filled with a bunch of petty dudes, basically, man. And dudes be on it just like this. Dudes be so petty that they gonna pinch and they gonna be greedy because they never really had nothing in their life. Now he's in a situation where dudes is giving him dog food, hot chicken, take it over here, take it there, take it there, take it there, and he get his rocks off on it. You know what I mean? So like, I ain't really want to spoil his parade, but I just felt like that was real talk what I gave him, man. He was standing there, he was like, man, I feel you, Weezy, man. Like, you know, I mess with you, Weezy. Like, man, you always been cool. But he was like, they don't know nothing, man. He was like, man, Fred just lit all up. Man, he said, I got them. He said, they gonna be wanting to buy some more. He said, so look, are you gonna get some more? So I started thinking, I'm like, get some more? I'm like, man, I'm gonna see. I was like, I'm gonna see what I can do. I said, I'm gonna holler at you though. I said, but look, catch me at dinner time if I can get dude that spoon game. He was like, all right. So I'm gonna holler at you. I docked him up through the fence and he slid, y'all. So boom. I felt like I told him everything I needed to tell him. You know what I mean? I laid it down perfectly. What y'all think? I gave him the game. I told him, look, next time now, it's not gonna be on me. It's not gonna be on me. I'm just letting you know. You know what I mean? He agreed to it. He told me that was cool. I let that roll. But the thought of him telling me that I need to get some more of the D block, kind of like, that had me really thinking like, man, like for real, like, I don't know. I just made $250. Well, basically $250 off the Lala. But I'm like, after the little half a zip, I was like, I gotta sell the whole junk and make $5. You know what I mean? So I'm like, no, man. I'm like, man, I gotta measure this out. So when I get back to the pod, I see dude. I see the dude from the you know what I mean? So he see me, he like, what's up, bro? What's good with you? I'm like, cooler, man. I was like, look, though. He like, what's up? I like, walk with me right quick. So me and him kind of walk back by cell 12. We get over there. I'm like, yo, bro. I said, yo, how much? I said, how much of that stuff you got left? He was like, what? You want some more? He said, that junk fast. Why, you want some more? I was like, yeah, as long as it's the same thing. You know what I mean? I said, as long as it's the same thing, I'm good. He was like, it's the same thing, bro. He was like, me and my cousin had some, like, you know what I mean? We be having the same thing, bro, but it's the same thing, though. The dudes down here ain't got no more money. Who you selling it to? I said, bro, listen, relax. You need to relax. You need to relax, bro, because right now, that's not none of your business right there. He was like, man, go ahead, Shaw. He was like, but no, what you trying to do? He was like, because I ain't got nothing but this left. He went in his pocket. He was like, I ain't got nothing but this left. I looked, it was about 3 feces in the paper. I'm like, man. So I was like, you need some more of that stuff, though, don't you? He was like, yeah. So I'm like, what's up? Let's talk business then, man. Like, talk to me. Like, how can we work? Like, how can we do business? Like, I'm trying to get some more of that. Like, what you gonna do? I said, you gave me a half a G last time for the spoon game. You know what I mean? I was like, so what we gonna do this time? He was like, give me what you did. Give me what you gave me last time. And I'm gonna give you another spoon. I'm gonna give you another half a G. Cause I ain't got nothing but a couple G's left. And I be holding it for this one white dude that sleep next door to us. And he be spending the money once a month when he get paid. So I'm like, all right. I was like, that'll work. I was there. Cause that's really, I started measuring it. I'm like, I can go ahead and look out for bro, give him what I gave him last time. And still have a little bit to maintain with me just messing with the Lala for personal activities. You know what I mean? So like, I'm like, man, I don't gotta do no breakdown. And I don't gotta do none of this stuff. Cause I'm about to get this and be able to make another $300 probably. You know what I mean? Like for real, I could have made 3 off the first one, but I gave it to him for 2. The next one gonna be 3. So 3 and 2 equals 5. That's what I was supposed to made off the half a zip of Lala, y'all. So boom, everything started adding up. So we make the transaction, we make the play. I give it to him. Everything's a go. I go back, I look. It's in the same type of paper that he gave it to me last time. And I looked at the joint. It's the same look. This was like some all white. But I'm looking at the joint. I'm like, man, some all white, nice looking joint. I'm like, it's the same joint. So I'm like, everything's straight. You know what I mean? So I chill. You know what I mean? I'm chill because I'm like, for real, I done paid, bro. Ain't mama. You know what I mean? Now I'm about to make, you know what I mean? I'm like, this is crazy. So I'm like, I'm about to come out to the good because I still had his little bit of stuff that I supposed to sold for the 2. I still had a half a zip that I went in and gave bro something out the joint for the second batch of the D block. So like I'm real straight. I'm like, man, I can still make about $300-400 and still mess with the Lala myself, and I'm still straight. I'm like, this played out perfectly, man. Like the D block played out perfectly. That joint worked out nice. So I'm like, man, I'm chilling. You know what I mean? I wait till we go out. So we go out for dinner. You know what I mean? I'm walking with my homeboy. We walking. Who I look up and see y'all, man, spot me. I said, man, you look like you messing with the D block, man. He was like, hey, funny. I said, what's up? He was like, they asked you got some more, man. I told him you ain't had no more, but I told him I'll ask anyway. They might want some Lala too, though. I was like, nah, I got some. He was like, you do? I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, all right. What you want to do? What you trying to do with it? I said, bro, listen, I need 3 for this one. You know what I mean? I said, it's the same size. I said, I need 3. I said, now that might cut you out a little bit. I said, so for you making this play, I have this for you right here. He was like, what? What's that? I said, a spoon. I said, I'm giving you a spoon. This takes care of you. This takes care of you, for you don't gotta hit their joint like that. I said, because I need 300 for that joint, y'all. I mean, he said, they still can give you 300. They still can give you 300. I said, man, look, I'm telling you now, don't do it, man. He was like, look, once you give it to me, what we always say, I'm responsible. I said, nah, that's not how it went last time. You wasn't responsible last time. I was responsible. He said, you owe me anyway. I said, it's not the same thing, y'all, man. He always keep trying to win the argument battle. Like, I was sick of that, man. I like to win the argument battle, man. I had to tell him, no, it's not the same thing. It's not. I had to straighten it. You never told me it was a price I had to pay you, so technically I didn't owe you. Technically, man. He like, man, look, don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about nothing, man. I got it. I said, what are you doing with all that D block when you break it down, all those 50s that you taking and all that? I said, what are you doing with it? He was like, I be selling it. I said, man, you don't be selling it, y'all, man. Go weather, man. I said, what you gonna do with this, man? He was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna pinch it. That's all you need to know is I'm gonna pinch it. That's all you need to know. I'm gonna tap dance. So I said, all right, look, just keep me out of it, bro. I said, don't go crazy on it. I said, because they gotta spend 3. You know what I mean? I said, they gotta spend 3. I said, so look, give this kite to the white dude. I said, give this kite to the white dude, because I was looking for you anyway to give him this kite. I said, give him. He said, what this kite say? I said, man, he all nervous, like I'm gonna blow his mission. Even though I didn't want him to do the mission. I'm like, look, the kite basically saying I need 3 for this joint right here. I got the same thing I gave him last time, but I gave him a deal last time for 2. I said, if he want another one, I can do it for 3. That's the only way. I said, that's what the kite say. I said, if you want this, holla at y'all, man. Y'all, man, gonna make the play. So I'm like, that's what's up, man. So he like, he was like, look, though. He said, man, for real, though, man. He said, just come outside in the morning. He said, because I'd rather you tell him that. Then the guy said, the kite got everything I want to tell him. He's like, man, just come outside in the morning. He said, you can give him the stuff tonight? I said, nah. Because to be honest with y'all, I wasn't trusting y'all, man, at that particular moment. I'm like, nah, I'm not giving him the stuff now. Like, I wanted him to see that kite first. He was like, I'm going to tell him to come outside to make it better. But I already knew what y'all, man, was doing. He wanted dude to see me face to face. For dude won't clap the extra $100 and dude can agree on it. And it has to go through y'all, man. That's what he was doing. That's what he was doing, man. So I'm like, all right, man, go ahead, man. Do what you got to do, man. So boom, I waited till we had rep. I mean, next day game, I go outside. White dudes waiting on me. You know what I mean? They waiting. They was waiting, man. They was down outside the yard this time. They was on yard 2. And we on the basketball court. So I'm talking to them across the fence. So I'm talking to the white dude and I'm telling him to play. He like, yeah, I read the kite. He was like, you can't do it for $250? I was like, nah. I said, bro, I gave you a half a G last time. I said, bro, listen, I needed 3 the last time. I said, but just to get rid of it last time, I did it for 2. You know what I mean? I said, I need 3 this time. You coming right back. You know, that's what I need. He was like, he looked at Fred. Fred was on the fence like, he was like, all right, man, you got it on you now? Like, I saw his face like he was real urgency about it. He was like, all right, you got it on you now? I was like, I was stuck in a fork in the road. I was stuck because I like for real the play went a little too fast. Like I had it on me. But I'm like this. I'm like, I had to make a decision. So I know they saw that I kind of thought for no, it wasn't even a minute. I thought about, I'll say like 10 seconds. He was like, you got it on you? I was like, yeah. I got it on me. I got it on. He said, man, you know I'm a lock, man. You know I'm gonna take care of it. I said, yeah, I know that, right? I said, but look, I need a little bit more insurance. I said, because this is real. This is the last Mohicans. I said, if something go wrong with this, I'm gonna look stupid. He said, so you don't trust me no more? I just spent $250 with you? I said, yeah, I trust you. I said, I trust you. I said, but look, as I'm saying that, I see y'all, man, looking at me, y'all, man, give me the eye like. He looking like, what the hell is you doing? I'm reading his brain. He's like, Weezy, what the fuck you doing, Weezy? Tell the nigga you gotta give it to him tonight, nigga. I'm like this. And y'all, man, you a piece of garbage, y'all, so boom. I didn't say that, but I get y'all, man, to look like, yeah. And he stopped looking at me when I did that. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Went back like, yeah, look, bro. But look, though, man. I was like, just go see, can you get the money first? That's something I shouldn't done. as I rewind and take back to this whole situation, I shouldn't have done that. But like, that's what I said though. Like, I just wanted to kind of like, not really all for yard, man. Like for my own insurances, like, just go see, can you get the 3 first, bro? You know what I mean? I was like, it's still morning time. I said, you still can get it today. He was like, but I'm trying to get some more, man. I can't get it now. I said, no, look. Nah, man. I said, nah, bro. I said, you gotta wait, man. You know what I mean? So he was like, all right, man, look. I'm gonna send you a kite at lunch if I can get it or not. Give it to yard man at lunch. If I send you the kite, says to go, you gonna send it? I'm like, he was sounding a little aggressive, but still though, I'm like, I know he ain't gonna play with my bread. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna send it, man. I'm gonna send it. He like, all right. So he dipped. You know what I mean? As soon as he dipped, yard man called me to the corner of the fence. He like, man, Weezy, what the fuck you doing, man? Why the fuck you ain't telling him you can get it to him? I said, man, who the fuck is you talking to, man? The fuck, who the hell you think you is, the Ron O'Neal or the goddamn run the yard, motherfucker? That dummy, I was about to super disrespect goddamn honk out that bitch. I'm like, yo, you wildin', man. Who the fuck you talking to, y'all, man? The hell? He was like, his face was like this. He like, I'm like, man, listen, you look. You still got a chance, man. But look, this is what I'm telling you, man. Don't pinch a lot of that shit, man. Just take you something out of it. That's it, man. Don't take you a whole lot of that shit, man. I'm telling you, they gonna know, bro. They spending 3. He was like, all right, man. I was like, all right, I'm letting you know now, man. He was like, all right, man. I gave it to him, y'all. So boom. What I was thinking though, it was a crazy move, but you do crazy moves in prison. This is how you hustle in prison back then. Like when I got in Lawrenceville, it was green dots, and you can have your own cell phone, and Blues can bring you the numbers. You can check your own numbers, put it on your own card. It was much more easier to hustle in Lawrenceville. But on Sussex too, it was Maniacville. You have to trust people. You have to trust people. Hey, bro, when you got me next week, all right, I want my money next week. Dude, I owe you $500. You gotta wait it out. This was Maniacville, man, but this is how we had to grind. Ask anybody. Anybody tell you anything different, they wellin'. This is how we had to grind, man. So like, I took the risk. I took the risk and I done it. I gave the yard, man. I made sure I let them know. You know what I mean? Let them know the counts. Goddamn. I go back in the building. You know what I mean? Straight. Goddamn. We don't got no more rent. To the next day, we go to dinner. You know what I mean? We going to dinner. Walking to dinner and shit. Chilling, everything straight. I'm coming off my little buzz. I'm lit from the lala. I'm walking. I hear somebody way over when we got to the threshold. Like, because it's like a fence. Like, we coming from 4 building way. And it's a child hall on that side. The child halls are right by each other, but it's a fence. And on the other side of the fence is another child hall, the watch office, the laundry area, the intake. By 2 building and 1 building, that's what's all on that side. On our side, we just got the gym. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, when we come to the fence, we about to walk into the child hall, but there's a fence blocking the other child hall. So like, walking, I hear somebody way over there about 2 minutes. So I like, hey, Wizard! Hey, Wizard! Wizard! I'm like, CO's looking at everybody. I'm looking through the fence. But I couldn't see that far, but I'm looking through the fence. I see the burger, and I'm like, going to child hall. I'm in the child hall eating, chilling. I hear somebody walk by and say, poof, 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 poof. Now, usually don't nobody be coming by the child hall, knocking on the window because there's police in the child hall, police outside the child hall. So the only person this can be was y'all, man, y'all. So, boom. He come to the jump. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what's up? He was like, hey, man. Hey, man, the white dude say that wasn't right. I was like, what do you mean it wasn't right? He was like, man, it wasn't right. I was like, man, listen, man, look, man. All right, man, I just waved him off. I went back to my tray, went back to my sloppy Joe. I'm eating sloppy Joe tray out the end bread of the hamburger bun. Man gave me an end bread. I'm like, made a sloppy Joe sandwich with the end bread. I'm like, oh, what was that? I was like, man, I ain't time for that, man. I'm like, why the COs ain't telling him to leave? So we kind of right by the window. I get up again. I'm like, what's up? He like, man, he said that jump wasn't right. He said that jump wasn't right, man. He said they did half of it. Here go the other half. He want his money back. I said, bro, listen, I don't know what kind of games y'all playing, man. I said, man, well, get the fuck out of my face, y'all, man. Straight up, man. He was like, I said, man, fuck you and fuck him. I'm not coming off no money. You straighten that, nigga. Fuck wrong with you, nigga. So niggas hear it in the pod. Niggas like, I see the Richmond dude, he heard it. He was like, what's up? He good, Jordan? I was like, yeah, everything. He was like, what happened? I'm like, man, look, man. Goddamn shit crazy, man. I was like, shit crazy. Don't worry about it, man. You know what I mean? I ain't want to put everybody in my business. So he like, man. So he sit down. So everybody like, damn, Weezy snaps. So I sit back down. They let us out. We come back out. Y'all, man, pull up. He walk. He like, hey, Weezy, look, man. He not like that, man. He was like, but look, man, shit. The shit I goddamn took, I gave to somebody. They said I'm on right. I was like, look, man, look. When he said that, I'm like, yo, bro, I don't know what kind of game you playing. I ain't got nothing to do with that, man. I don't have nothing to do with that. I don't have nothing to do with that shit. I'm letting you know now, I don't have nothing to do with that shit. He was like, man, so we just gonna leave me out back? I said, man, I don't have nothing to do with it. I don't know what you got going on, y'all, man. I said, man, you super lost me when you want to be, man. I said, I don't have nothing to do with that shit, man. That shit on you, y'all, man. He was like, all right, he's storming away. He dipped. We go back to the building. I'm like, fuck y'all, man. I go straight to the junk, get that junk to my peoples, get on the phone, get the Western Union junk to my peoples. Wildin', man. Once y'all, man, gave me that bread, that junk over with, man. Ain't no more transactions behind that. It's a wrap. So after I finish, get off the phone, I go in the cell, I was thinking, I'm like, damn, that shit crazy, man. I'm like, what do you mean it won't right? I'm like, man, y'all, man, done did some old larceny ass shit. That nigga done did some old larceny ass shit. Like I be telling y'all, that larceny shit'll catch up with you, man. That shit'll catch up with you and it be in the worst way. So I'm like, man, that shit crazy, man. So they had a program that night. So a dude that's a Muslim dude, he come out in the program. I'm sitting in the cell. He come, I say, hey, what you say? He slide a jump through my door. I look at the kite. They got Fred written on the kite. I'm like, Fred? Take all the tape off the joint, read it. Hey, look, nephew, that shit wasn't right. We want our money back. If you can't give us our money back, then it's gonna be war, nephew. Look, I'm letting you know now. Somebody fucked us over. We want our money back. I'm like, man, look, man. I don't know what the hell you talk about, man. At the end of the kite, come on, Saturday in the morning. All right, so we go to breakfast. Dude's trying to call me at breakfast. All right, man, I'm just not trying to talk to nobody. So we go outside in the morning after breakfast. I'll get on the yard. We on the big yard. They on yard one. So I'll be over there by their building. So I see him and Fred, the white dude and Fred. The white dude was like, man, that shit wasn't right, man. I tried to do a lot of it. And it wasn't hitting me, man. It wasn't hitting. It looked like the last shit, but it wasn't hitting me, man. It wasn't hitting. I don't know what the fuck that shit is. I said, yo, listen. I'm going to leave it like this, man. Fred was like, hold on. Before you speak, hey, yard man. Yard man was on their yard. I'm like, oh, shit. He like, hey. And he was like, yeah, I made him come up here. Yeah, fuck that. He off today. He ain't working today. He off today. So I'm like, oh, shit. Like, this is a moment of reckoning right here. This is the real deal. So y'all, man, walked up with that dumbass wall. He was like, yeah. I was like, yo, look, man, what I gave you, that shit was official, man. I ain't got no reason to beat these dudes. I don't move like that. Ask anybody that know me, I don't move like that, man. I don't move like that. So whatever you did with it, when I gave you the stuff, is on you. I said, listen, Fred was like, look, so you saying you gave him the stuff when it was right? I was like, yeah. And I was like, man, for real though, man. I was like, I feel bad though. I feel bad. I said, because I'm trying to do business. I'm trying to do business, Fred, man. I was like, I'm trying to do business. I feel bad. I was like, man, but he pinched y'all last package. He was like, what? I said, he pinched y'all last package. He looked over at y'all, man. He was like, y'all, man was like, you pinched. He grabbed y'all, man. He was like, psh, you winning my shit? You winning my shit? He was like, no, I ain't going. He was like, you winning our shit? I said, man, he winning the last shit. He smacked him. I said, man, look, I told that nigga don't do this shit. I told him don't fucking do this shit, man. I said, I'm trying to do business. I can't get in the middle of that shit. Y'all trust him to be a middleman. I said, I ain't got nothing to do with that shit, man. I gave him the right shit, man. I gave him the right shit. He was like, white dude was like, man, he don't have no fucking reason to beat us, man. Why the fuck would he beat us? And he asked the shit. I was like, for real? Like, that was real talk. Fred was like, he let y'all, man, go. He was like, motherfucker, you better have my shit. I'm letting you, I don't give a fuck where you get it from. Switch this shit back out and give me the real shit. Y'all, man, was like, I ain't got the real shit, man. This is what Weezy gave me. He gave me this right here. He was looking serious. His face was like that. He was like, he gave me this right here. This is what Weezy gave me. I ain't did nothing. He said, you ain't take nothing out this shit. He was like, he wanted to cry. He was like, come on, man. You know I get my cut, man. That's all he was like, he smacked his ass again. He was like, then he was giving him heavy smacks. He was like, and he was like, come on, man. He grabbed him for he run. He was like, no, fuck that. No, fuck that. No, he was giving my shit. Fred got his ass right there by the gate. The white dude trying to talk to him like, man, just give us our shit back. And it's over with, man. Just switch this shit back out. Because Weezy didn't fucking do it. Weezy didn't fucking do this shit. Like, who the fuck did this shit? I don't know what the fuck is this shit you sent me. So I'm like, man, this nigga's so petty. This nigga ready to take an ass whooping for switching it out. So he just stayed right there. Nigga drop, boom, put him sit down. Nigga sitting down by the cooler, looking stupid as a bitch. So they made that nigga sit there till they let the gate out. So they let the gate out. Them niggas dip. White boy walked by me. He was like, hey, look, man. He said, man, I'm gonna buy some of that Lala tomorrow, man. He was like, but we gonna get this motherfucker right here to tell us where that fucking real D block is at. Cause I know he know where the fuck that shit is at. I know he know where the fuck that shit is at, man. I was like, bro, I ain't did no switch. And that was the God honest truth. I didn't. I gave bro what the shit the nigga gave me. I ain't do no switch out, y'all. So boom. So them boys took that man back in the pod. Man, that's word. We in that bitch. We go back in our building. We way on in 4 building. We in the pod. Man, niggas are like, yo, massive police running over the goddamn 2 building. There's so many police is going over that bitch. And they say, goddamn, the nigga Fred damn near tortured the hell out of y'all, man. Beat the shit out of y'all, man. Man, that's where he say he drug y'all, man, in that bitch, man. He said y'all, man, was fucked up, man. I didn't see it, but that's the word everybody told me. Like, yo, y'all, man, I got fucked up, man. So that nigga was beating that nigga ass in the cell for like 2 cell breaks. Like, that's over an hour almost, man, just beating his ass. Just beating his ass, man. They said Fred whooped that nigga, man, all the way up until the police saw that shit, man. So the police ran in that bitch. The nigga Fred got into it with the police. Say him and the white dude were roommates. Man, say him and the white dude got into it with the police, run with the police, all type of maniac shit, man. They find goddamn yard, man. This man damn near unconscious. He done got his ass whooped. He done got his ass whooped, y'all. That's my word. So we come out, niggas, everybody hearing about this shit like, yo, y'all, man, got drugged, nigga did this, nigga was beating his ass for 2 cell breaks, man, nigga wouldn't let him leave out. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, man, y'all, man, like, I knew it was gonna come back and bite him. Man, that shit was crazy, man. So I go to the chow hall, you know what I mean? Go to the chow hall, get my tray. Goddamn, after we ate and shit, we about to walk back. As we walking back, I hear a dude calling, like, it's a dude way up there in 3 building, the 4th row, in 3C, all the way at the top. So we looking, he's like, hey. I'm like, you can really hear him? He's like, it's Fred. I'm like, I wanted to hit him with the cane off Menace to Society when the old girl told me he was pregnant. I'm like, what the fuck you calling me for? He was like, hey, where's that? Hey, where's that? I was like, yo. He was like, then I could see him. I'm like, oh, that's the dude, Fred. He said he ain't had. We searched everywhere, he ain't had. I'm like, I wanted to hit him again with the cane off Menace to Society. So what the fuck you telling me for? I'm like, all right. So I go back in the joint. Hey, for that man way out there. Like I was talking to the Empire State Building nigga. I'm like, I'm gone. I slid. Went back in the down pod. My word. Soon as I walk back in the jump, I see the Richmond dude see me. He like, hey, me all at your shirt. I'm like, what's up? He like, hey, look, man. He was like, yo, that shit crazy. He's like, we been hearing about what's going on. He was like, we had 2 jumps and shit, man. He said, man, I was fucked up, bro. He said, I gave you the wrong jump, bro. He said, the joint I gave you was the weak shit that the dude I told you downstairs be buying. Cause goddamn, he cop every month. He was like, that was the weak shit, bro. I gave you the weak shit by accident, bro. He said, now that shit done started a whole war. I said, oh shit. I said, say word, bro. He was like, man, that's my good word, shorty. I was like, damn, I felt so fucked up for y'all, man, because he really didn't do nothing wrong. I thought he swapped the whole pack out. Y'all, man, still pinched the pack, man. His karma's still a bitch. But still, though, y'all, man, didn't do it, man. I looked at bro, I was like, bro, for real, bro? I said, ain't no dude damn near fucking unalive y'all, man, behind that shit. He was like, no, man. He was like, man, shit, fuck that nigga, man. That nigga be pinching shit anyway. I was like, I know, man. I was like, but still, he like, man, fuck that nigga. He was like, so look, I'm gonna give you the joint here, because I still owe you. I was like, he put the joint in my hand. I'm like, joint's crazy, man, now. You know what I mean? He straightened me out. The man gave me the wrong thing by accident, man. This shit almost cost a whole goddamn nigga to lose his whole fucking life. Shit was wild, man. This word. Y'all, man, get out. Y'all, man, got out the hole, man. You know what I mean? Like, they took mercy on him, man. He lost his job for like a year. After that, he got his job right back. He was right back being yard man. But me and him never spoke to each other after that no more. Like, I never told him what the dude from Richmond said. I don't think dudes from Richmond let that secret out like that, man. But he never spoke to me no more, man. Like, Fred and them got out. You know what I mean? Fred that got out the hole. They was back there a minute. The white dude that got out, they went to 1 building because they had a lot of time, man. But everything went back to normal, man. Y'all, man, weren't too mad at me, man. That junk was wild, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That was a crazy situation. But that's the end of the damn story, though. I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Y'all know the count, man. Stay y'all ass out the way for you can live out here with your family forever. But y'all already know what it is, man. This was the weekend banger game. That's what I need y'all to do with this one. Like, share, subscribe, let's get it. Let's go. But y'all be safe and stay y'all ass out the way.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.